What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NBA Slate Starter Podcast. I'm Eric, joined with my buddy Ryan as we break down Friday's 7-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings, FanDuel and Yahoo. Ryan, your Michigan Wolverines just couldn't get it done. I'm very bummed out for you, but you know what? It's going to be okay because DFS is on the horizon. That makes everything better. How's your net going?
Yeah, unfortunately, Michigan lost as they were expected to lose. They just couldn't buy a bunny bucket all game long. They missed so many shots inside the basket. So that was disappointing to deal with, to watch that. But it is what it is. Surprising run to the Sweet 16. We'll see if Hunter Dickinson returns. I expect him to return for one last run. Oh, no, that'd be it'd be a junior at that point. So, the Michigan team went through some adversity. The coaching staff went through some adversity on and off the court. But I think they'll be back at strong next year. There's a lot of raw talent there. Michigan's very talented. There's a reason why they were the top 5 team entering the country starting the season.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of talent there. They're very good. That's why they're a 2 seed. But like looking forward, Michigan, I think, is going to be just fine in the basketball department. You get that Jordan emblem, takes care of a lot of problems when it comes to the old recruiting, let me tell you. It makes me want to play at Michigan, that's for sure. I'm 34 years old and washed up, so probably not a good idea. Hit the like button, everybody. Subscribe button, notification bell if you're watching on YouTube here. The story of the slate today, a lot of the chalk was phenomenal. You had Zach LaVine get there. Tyus Jones, the major piece of a disappointing chalk because of a massive blowout there against the Pacers. Ended up being a lot of you needed to get to Justin Anderson. A little bit of a lag in terms of his fantasy performance here. 3K puts up 30+ on DK. I think that might be useful depending on how Jokic does, but we shall see. Anything else you want to comment on today's NBA slate before we jump to Friday?
Yeah, I'm not sure how Nikola Jokic is doing today. I know there was no Giannis on the slate, but Jokic I wasn't too excited for. I really like spending down a little bit. To Vooch, I thought Vooch was in a great spot. He was a little disappointing. Missed out on a double-double, which has been awfully nice over there on DK. But I guess the train lineup I ran came down to a decision between Jokic and Kyle Anderson versus Jaren Jackson Jr. and Nikola Vucevic. I went Vooch and Jaren Jackson Jr., but I don't know if it'll work out.
Yeah, it's just one of those spots where I think once in a while you run one lineup, and that's kind of the thing that you run into. You could do it where you split your lineups in half and you do each one like that, but again, I know that you were focused on your Michigan Wolverines, but now you get to have a clear focus here for Friday. We've got 7 games to break down. So many people hanging out in Twitter Spaces. Good to see them. Excited to be talking through this slate with you live as we do these recordings every single night. But Ryan, 7 games. Let's get to it, shall we?
Let's ride.
Top end of guard, Luka Doncic, 12-1. He's back, which is crazy because, we just saw both Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie get inflated to 7K and 7,100 respectively. Yeah, don't play them even against Minnesota. But Luka 12-1, hello, hi, good to see you. Trae Young 10-7, James Harden 10K in LA. Who knows what kind of shenanigans he got up to tonight. We'll see. Maybe he's okay to go. That was being sarcastic a little bit, but not really. Donovan Mitchell, 9K against Charlotte. That seems fun. LaMelo Ball, 8,900 against Utah. Less intriguing, but he's still a great tournament option. But your boy, Cade Cunningham, 8,700 there on DraftKings. Are you still willing to pay the freight all the way up to the 9K number?
Yeah, Cade's been balling. I kind of rode this price tag to the top, and it's paid off pretty well for me on the Cade slates. But looking up top, you do get a Luka Doncic 12-1. There should be some value sprinkled in throughout the day if you want to land on him. And landing on Luka is not too bad. He's just running the show, 12-1, earned every single penny of that price tag. Remember, there was a time where Luka was sub 10K this year, and people were worried about him. I think he just turned out just fine as he plays himself into shape. But looking around to spend down, a shout out to Chris Dunn. He got the second 10-day contract. He's $4,500, so that's something that looks phenomenal. I think at 4,500, Chris Dunn taking on a Houston team, you got to have some interest there. On the other side, targeting that Houston-Portland game seems a great way to go. You get both KPJ and Jalen Green. The shot volumes there in the backcourt, I have some interest going to those guys. But up top, you still get a 10K James Harden taking a Clippers team. I have no issues if you follow him. I've been over the field on James Harden pretty much every slate since he's been in Philly. It worked out really nice the first couple games and then kind of came down to earth a little bit. But James Harden has the upside to be the high scoring player on the slate, so that's pretty important to look at. And you get Donovan Mitchell. He's going to be very low on like he was the other night, up at 9K. That's pretty expensive for Donovan Mitchell, but I think he's okay to fall on. Keep an eye on the Randall news with RJ Barrett. He's priced up at 8,400. Tough Miami spot. I'd rather save $1,000 and go to a guy like Anthony Edwards, $1,000 cheaper at $7,400.
I agree with that. Anthony Edwards was a guy I wanted to bring up. 7-game slate, little different than these 12-game iterations we've had the last 2 weeks, I believe, on Fridays. That's a lot of games. 7 is fewer. That's math. Going to guard over on FanDuel, Luka 10-4. Why is he 10-4? Ryan, why is Luka 10-4?
That's a different slate, different game. You got to love 10-4 Luka. I mean, how can you not?
Trae Young, 9,800. 8,900 for LaMelo. Working our way down, Donovan Mitchell, 8,500 is going to be crazy popular against Charlotte. 8,200 Cade Cunningham is going to be crazy popular. Probably just, well, not just for you, but for a lot of other people here as well. But I want to ask you about Jordan Poole. Are we going to just be riding the hot hand still, Jordan Poole, even with Klay Thompson back?
Jordan Poole at that price tag, I want to shy away a tad bit. Look, Klay Thompson's going to have a game where he outscores Jordan Poole. It's just going to happen. I know Jordan Poole is playing amazing basketball of late, and I've been shocked to see it myself. But he's looking fine to go to 7,800 in an Atlanta spot. I would rather come in under the field on a guy like him tomorrow, depending on ownership. I do think there'll be some heavily owned guys there. I mean, would you rather go 7,800 for him or $1,300 cheaper and go to Terry Rozier? I mean, I think Rozier I'd rather take the savings on a guy like him. Both the Houston guys I like more to target. I like KPJ and Jalen Green. And I think the Brandon Williams experience is over. He's 6,500. I don't think you can go there. But Lucas definitely seems like a solid priority option. If I'm seeing this correctly, is D'Angelo Russell $5,900?
Wow. What are we even doing here? D'Angelo Russell's 5,900 against Dallas. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, but that's just life, I guess. Minnesota's been in some weird, non-competitive games a number of times, or games that have just really kept D'Angelo Russell from getting full run. You saw him against Phoenix. They lost by 9 there. He's been playing fewer minutes for sure. I mean, that's a thing. They've definitely limited him a little bit more. They've got Patrick Beverley playing massive minutes for this basketball team as well. So you get both of them out there. Malik Beasley has now been getting back to that mid-20s minutes per game. So I could see where 5,900 actually shows up, but that's ridiculous, and we're going to play lots of it. Jalen Green, 5,700 would be the pivot off of it, but not really. I'm with you. That's a ridiculous number.
Yeah, I completely am shocked to see that price tag. It's really tough for me to go there in confidence, but I think bouncing around a little bit, you can take a flyer even on a $3,900 Dennis Schroeder. Pricing looks completely different tomorrow on FanDuel right now. So it's very interesting. It's a different slate. And you get a $4,500 Dorian Finney-Smith. I know it's not exciting, but he can pay off a $4,500 price tag with ease. Jimmy Butler's in play. Controversial Miami team as they got into a big kerfuffle the other day with Udonis Haslem telling Jimmy Butler he's going to beat his ass verbatim.
You don't want that Udonis Haslem smoke when you're fake tough like Jimmy Butler.
I mean, what would you set the odds between Udonis Haslem and Jimmy Butler?
Udonis Haslem minus 1,200.
Whoa. I think you're selling Jimmy Butler a little short there.
No, Jimmy Butler is fake tough. He's tough until he's a little bit banged up. I'm with Greg Ehrenberg on this one. Shout out G. Ehrenberg DFS on Twitter.
I mean, granted, I do think Jimmy Butler's a little overrated as a basketball player, as in, like, I think he gets a lot of credit for a lot of things that he's not very good at. But I still think he could handle Udonis Haslem. I think Udonis Haslem's a little talks his own talk. I don't think he backs it up that well.
Yeah, he's old, crusty. Maybe that might be part of it. To Yahoo, the sponsor site where Ryan looks like we have another Awesemo Slate Starter exclusive contest to offer the people. We filled it nice and early, an hour before lock last time around on Wednesday. We're running it back. $10 entry fee, $1K to first. less than 600 entries. The best tournament you're going to find on any site, period. 11.5% management fee. Go play on it, because a 5% difference between DraftKings and FanDuel. If you're going to play a couple lineups and you're trying to win like $1,000, this is the place to go play those lineups. Just telling you ahead of time. Guard spot, Luka Doncic 55, James Harden 49, Trae Young 45. You pay up for nice things. Luka is an expensive, nice thing. I think James Harden, because he's at shooting guard, that could make some sense to go to. But then you do get Cade Cunningham at that position as well. $33, strict positionality. And D'Angelo Russell's $26. Far cry from the $5,900 you're looking at on FanDuel.com. Last guy to ask you, are they going to keep just massacring the world? Is Tyrese Maxey alongside Joel Embiid and James Harden still a thing? Because I'm so over this.
Yeah, me too. I have not been playing Tyrese Maxey when all those guys are healthy by any means. I'll be so under the field. I don't think this is sustainable. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't like going to Maxey. He just has to get hot from the outside, and he continues to do so. But over here on Yahoo, guards that stick out to me, I mean, Chris Dunn is 11. That helps you spend up for Luka in another guard spot. I think that's ideal. I like Donovan Mitchell at that price tag. Donovan Mitchell, LaMelo, and Cade all look great. And if you fall on a Houston guy, it'd be Jalen Green here. He's only 18. So Jordan Poole's still cheaper, $26. I think that's fine to go to. And looking for Kevin Porter Jr., he's $20 as well. So there's some solid prices for you to spend up for Luka in different spots, but there's some solid mid-tier value over here. Yeah, I just can't go to Maxey, to be honest. I'd rather take my chances with one of the Houston guys instead of Maxey against Portland.
I always feel like on Yahoo, like, because he's got like a $20-ish tag, I at least consider him over on Yahoo, but I don't consider him on DraftKings and FanDuel. That's basically why I was saving to ask you about him there. God knows why he keeps going off, but it'll probably happen again tomorrow, because I doubt I will play much of him. I guarantee you, though, if I do, this is where I'll do it. Yahoo, the sponsor site of the NBA Slate.
Did you see what Devin Booker is doing? He's about to score 50 real life.
That seems good.
That's impressive.
That seems
good.
He
is. He's also doubling up Jokic.
I'm doing an ad read, Ryan. Okay, come on now. It's okay. I love you. 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum when you sign up. Deposit $10 or more. See, now I'm tilted. $10 or more. You play in any paid contest, and you're all set to go. That's all you have to do, and it's not just NBA, but we have MLB coming up in what is it? Week and a half, 2 weeks. Can't wait to add that to the plate, because I'm actually getting excited. As I started doing some research today, it was a pretty light day for me, and I got to tell you, we have the best MLB tools, bar none. The top stack tool. The top everything, the top pitchers tool. It is one of the best DFS sports here at Awesemo that I think just our data team does such a good job. The lineups kind of build themselves. So I'm telling you, if you want to check out a free month, that'll intersect with opening day. This is the time to jump in on that offer if you haven't played over at Yahoo. So stop guessing, start winning. Join us at Awesemo, but do it through our sponsor site by depositing $10, playing in any paid contest, and getting that free month. Thank you so much to them for their sponsorship of the NBA Slate Starter Podcast. All right, now you can talk about Devin Booker. Is he good at basketball still?
I mean, he's always been good at basketball, but wow. Sub 9% owned, I believe, on the big FanDuel tournament.
5% in the $18 because I played, or in the $15, sorry, on DK. I played 15% of him.
Nice. Yeah,
I didn't know what CP3's minutes were going to be. How many minutes did you project him for?
I didn't do any projections. Like I said, I didn't do any research on this slate. I built this as I was leaving the house, as I had some sushi tonight. I didn't do any research. I just ran one lineup.
You weren't gonna land on Devin Booker in one lineup. That's not going to happen.
No, I definitely wasn't considering Devin Booker.
Yeah, not in a million years. But I thought large field tournaments, he's a guy who can put up 60 real points.
Yeah, but I mean, that's an impressive performance. Regardless, I mean, I really like Drew Holiday and Zach LaVine, so that took up the guard spots, and Tyus Jones. So I guess I could have done Devin Booker and maybe Desmond Bain or something. I don't know.
So much regret, so much pain in those eyes.
Of course.
Let's go to forward.
Yeah, when you're running a 150-man train, you kind of need to hit the cash line, right?
Yes, you do. Oh, what are we sweating? What are we sweating in the late night? Just Jokic? Oh, no,
No,
you didn't play Jokic. You played Vooch and Jared Jackson.
I'm just trying to hold. I just want the game to end.
Oh, okay, that'd be cool.
I don't think it'll cash, but it is what it is.
We'll find out. We'll know by the end of this stream probably. So we'll keep it going. Forward, top end. Julius Randle's questionable. He's eternally questionable. Obi Toppin's at least up to 4,500. Thank God he's still in play. Cade Cunningham, 8,700. RJ Barrett, 84 against Miami. That's a hefty tag against a Miami team coming off of back-to-back losses. Not looking great here. Jimmy Butler, if he needs to prepare for his fight with Udonis Haslem, he'll sit out. He's fake tough. He might sit out anyway. Even though I wish he was in Minnesota right now, that'd be cool. Kyle Kuzma, I think he'll probably be sitting out here against Detroit once again. They don't have anything to play for. Probably not push him. I'd be surprised if he played as well, which, Porzingis is on a back-to-back, though, I suppose. We shall see. That's kind of a situation I don't want to speculate on too much more. Anthony Edwards, you talked about at 7,400, but Sadiq Bey, 7,300 here. I mean, that's just outrageous. We can't get to that. But Jeremy Grant, we can, sure. 7,100 coming off of back-to-back really nice performances. 40 fantasy points in 22 minutes in a 21-point win against Atlanta. I mean, he's playing some good basketball. Jeremy Grant season.
Future Trailblazer Jeremy Grant, but he's all right. I'd rather, at that price tag, I would rather spend up for Jimmy Butler, honestly, or like take my chances elsewhere with maybe the forward position's not as strong tomorrow. It's kind of weak for a 7-game slate. I think you can take some chances on the $8,300 Porzingis if he plays on a back end of a back-to-back. The Portland-Houston game will have some guys that you can go to. I don't mind going to Watford at 6,800 just because it's against Houston. But Jimmy Butler is probably my favorite guy, and then you can go to Anthony Edwards. If Alperen Şengün, for some reason, gets to start tomorrow at 5,200, it's possible he might, but it's against Portland. That's a spot where I would be willing to take a chance on Şengün. It'd be against Portland.
Agreed. Şengün, in any situation, if it's a 7-game slate and you're trying to find, if a guy gets minutes, he makes a phenomenal tournament play, Şengün always checks that box. So no doubt about it. You were there first on the Turkish sensation, young kid with game. James Harden, he's 10K over on FanDuel. You can play him at small forward. So just throwing him out there to start at the position. But then Kristaps Porzingis is 8,500. He'd be the most expensive guy at the power forward spot. Christian Wood, 8,400. Obviously, we've talked about that game at length because it matters a lot for this slate. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. That is something that people of my year used to say. Ryan, do you understand that analogy?
I do not.
I knew you didn't. It's insane to me, these kids these days. Chris Karen was hanging out a second ago. He can definitely vouch for the ridiculousness that it is that you don't understand that analogy. Bam Adebayo, 8,300. If there's no Jimmy Butler, give me all of that. Jeremy Grant, 7,500. Tobias Harris, 6,100. We're getting way down there, but I will say, Trendon Watford, 6K, playing high 30s or high 20s minutes, low 30s minutes. That might be a guy with no Josh Hart, no Justice Winslow we rely on, yes?
Yeah, I think he's a fine option to go to. But over here on FanDuel, 10K Harden looks good, and 8K Jimmy Butler looks outstanding as well. The Houston guy and Kevin Porter Jr. and Anthony Edwards, both those guys look amazing. If you want to spend down here, you get Dorian Finney-Smith. Corey Kispert's only 3,800. I think those guys are fine to fall on. Some other guys to look at, Watford, 6K, power forward only. Makes a ton of sense to go to. If we get, I do think you could take a flyer on Tobias Harris, as gross as it sounds, just because there's not that many intriguing power forward options that stick out to me.
I brought him up. I like him, 6,100. I don't like him. I can tolerate rostering him.
That's how I feel. I think if you fall on him, I have no issues. I'd rather play Watford at $100. I don't think Draymond Green's out of play at 5,200. I actually like him a fair share at $5,200 against Atlanta, but that's really about it.
Yeah, it gets gross there. Let's head to Yahoo. Julius Randle, 38. RJ Barrett, 36. We've got Jimmy Butler, 35. Everybody under $40 at the forward position. Well, we're going to be spending up at guard and center, and we're going to be finding some savings down here. I got to say, though, there was always going to be one site where it was just going to be a little bit easier. And Obi Toppin, $16. If I had to play him on one site tomorrow, I mean, he's 5,200 is the number, I believe, over on FanDuel.com. Over on DK, 4,500. But, I mean, those are both going to be in play considering 39 minutes last time out if there's no Julius Randle. But $16, I love that number at power forward, a weak power forward position, mind you, if there's going to be no Julius Randle. How about you?
If there was no Julius Randle, yeah, I think it's fine to fall on. I think you can definitely go to him if there's no Julius Randle. That makes a lot of sense. But I do think Jimmy Butler is the class of this position if he plays. And then if you want to save a little bit, Watford's at 21. Wiggins is in play at 24. Not as appealing as it was the other night when everyone was out, but I think he's fine to fall on $24. Tobias Harris definitely in play at 19. That's getting really cheap for Tobias Harris. $10 Kispert is fine to fall on, and then $11 Hachimura looks okay. Anthony Edwards has got to have an upside game. He's getting those shots up, but they're just not falling. He's not this bad anymore, so I don't mind taking some chances on Anthony Edwards definitely tomorrow. I think they played each other 2 games ago, so I think it's fine to go to Anthony Edwards yet again.
Love it. We are flying through this one. It's almost like I have a basketball game to go watch because I do. Go Duke. And then go Iowa State tomorrow. It's kind of nice to be me. 2 teams, 2 chances at it. It's weird that I don't feel good about either, but whatever. We keep it going to center. Let's round it out as Devin Booker has 45 real points. That seems good as well. 6:20 left to go, 1-point game. He's going to put up a lot more than that. Joel Embiid, 11-2. He is your spend-up du jour at the center position. There's really nobody else other than Cat, who's eternally questionable, the new LeBron James, if you will, considering he's constantly played through this forearm issue. Porzingis, power forward eligible. We talked about him already. Christian Wood, 8,200 center only. Bam Adebayo, 8K against the Knicks. There's no Julius Randle and no Jimmy Butler. Give me all of that you got. Actually, Julius Randle doesn't matter. I don't know why I said him. But Rudy Gobert against Charlotte, 7,600 against Charlotte. Rudy Gobert is going to have that 50-spot game again here soon, right?
Oh, 100%. You got to love going to Rudy G here. That makes a lot of sense to fall on Gobert. Center for a 7-game slate, opportunity cost is Joel Embiid, and then it's Cat. No one else up in the spend upper tier I'm that super excited in. If we get no Jimmy Butler, you can definitely go to Bam, but I really like Gobert. It makes a ton of sense to fall on him. I'm going to save some money. It's tough to save some money and go to anyone in confidence. I think Capella is $6,300. He's fine to fall on. You can play Draymond at center. Eubanks has been playing really well of late. He's $6,300. Capella, Eubanks, I think I'm going to have to – oh, man, wow. I'm going to go with Eubanks over Capella. It's just how it goes, honestly. So,
welcome to the – I mean, this is the floor for Capella. Like, it doesn't get worse than getting Drew Eubanks recommended over top of you. The guy was not on a National Basketball Association team like a month ago.
Yeah, he got 4 10-day contracts. I didn't even know you could get 4. I thought 3 was the max.
It was done at 2. I thought it was done at 2 or 3. You could do 3.
Yeah, he got his 4th one today.
It's like an 8th-year senior kind of situation, but weeks. Continue.
That's really about it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a terrible position comparatively. Play a lot of Rudy, play a lot of Joel Embiid, and apparently Drew Eubanks. That's just a weird thing to say out loud. Joel Embiid's 11-2 on FanDuel. Karl Anthony Towns, 9,700. I will be over the field on Karl Anthony Towns against Dallas. I will definitely do that at that number. We've got further down a lot of power forward center eligible guys, but Rudy Gobert, same situation, 7,600. And then my boy Zubats is really kind of disappointed me. He's fallen out of this rotation. Isaiah Hardenstein's been really, really good, and he's closed some games now for the Clippers. He's been playing some good basketball here as well. I don't think we can kind of rely on that. Naz Reid, if there is no Karl Anthony Towns, but I expect him to play there. 4,500, so at least giving him a shout-out. What sticks out to you on FanDuel, Ryan?
FanDuel, it's going to be similar guys yet again to Rudy Gobert. Sticks out to me, 7,600. Great Charlotte matchup. Great pace-up spot for Utah. Cat sub 10K looks great. Joel Embiid still chasing a scoring title. chasing an MVP. So there are some personal accolades to chase down the season here. If you want to save some money, Dwight Powell continues to perform at a high level. He played really well against Karl-Anthony Towns, I believe 2 games ago, put up 40-plus fantasy points. Obviously, that's not going to happen. I'm just bringing up a scenario of what just occurred. But Draymond Green, 5,200. I think you can play him at center as well. Center is kind of gross tomorrow. Not that exciting. No real value at this moment. Maybe we get a Christian Wood sitting out, and we can play all the Alperen Şengün.
Sorry, I had a cough. Here we go. Yahoo Center, rounding this out. Hi to all the Twitter Spaces people. We'll be taking questions afterwards. So good to see you guys. Stuart, Seth back in the house. We got John Church hanging out here. Maryi, round, what is this? We've done this 5 days. I should be able to know. Sunday through Thursday. Yeah, 5 days would be the correct answer. He's been here for everyone. Good to see you. Kyle, Jeff, Cowboy, T, Jeff, KT, Cam. Appreciate all of you guys hanging out here. Will, T, David. I think I got everybody. Again, Twitter Spaces is the place to be as we live record this here. Sorry, I definitely was coughing there for a second and tried to mute it as quick as possible. I also want to get out of here so I can go watch the second half of Duke. They're probably going to lose, but whatever. Center, Joel Embiid, $55. Talked about him. Cat, 43. I don't think that's if you're going to get up and just spend up at center, just give me Joel Embiid on Yahoo because, you're probably going to be able to find value elsewhere with the $10 floor. But Drew Eubanks is $18. Circled, highlighted him. It's a weird thing to do. Isaiah Hardenstein, $16 if you're trying to get really different. Been playing like mid-20s minutes, closed out a game, and defensively getting stocks and like at a ridiculous rate. How do you feel about the center position? Rounding it out on our sponsor site, Yahoo.
So one thing I forgot to touch on, we got word that a lot of the Clippers will be getting limited going forward. Guys like Batum will be playing sub 20 minutes. Marcus Morris capped at 25. Reggie Jackson, I believe, capped at 32. So that's going to change some things for this Clippers rotation. And I don't know how to attack that in confidence. I just don't know what we're going to expect from the rest of the rotation. We might even see more minutes from guys like Brandon Boston Jr., Bob Covington. So things are going to change.
Hardenstein, hopefully.
Yeah, the one thing they didn't say, they were going to limit Zubac's minutes. So unfortunately, and I don't expect them to share the court together that much, if at all. So
they did it for the first time ever. I tweeted something out when it happened because I went back through and it was the first time all season. So Hardenstein was just playing so well that they decided, you know what, screw it. We'll put both of them out there for a little bit. So it was the first time I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I mean, if we start seeing that more and more, I'll have more interest in Hardenstein. But yeah, center spot here. I gotta love that $31 price tag on Gobert. It makes a ton of sense to fall on him. If you want to save a little bit, Drew Eubanks is at 18. You can double center tomorrow just because of when Embiid and Cat are available, and we might get Bam, no Butler, potentially. You can definitely double center with some of these guys. Onyeka Okongwu is not out of play at 11. We've seen time and time again him get hot and play 20 minutes and can put up 25-plus fantasy points. And he's a very good fantasy point per minute guy when given minutes. So keep that on the table. I have no issues if you want to play Onyeka Okongwu.
I don't mind it. Don't completely mind it. Hey, everybody. That was the NBA Slate Starter Podcast here for Friday, March 25th. We're recording this Thursday, March 24th. Again, I'm really good at math. Ryan, any final words for the people as we get out of here?
Yeah, make sure to enter that Awesemo NBA Slate Starter exclusive contest. I believe it's 1K to first. Definitely give that an entry. We love your guys' support. 5 stars and hit the YouTube subscribe button. We got some angry bosses at us. Apparently, not enough people have been hitting the subscribe button for YouTube. So y'all need to hit that subscribe button for us. Otherwise, this Slate Starter might be hitting the finish line a lot sooner than once anticipated. So please hit that subscribe button.
We don't want that. That would suck.
Oh, yeah. This is fun. I really enjoy doing this. But if people don't want us...
I don't think that that's what it is. I think there's a lot of people that are already subscribed. I think that is a good thing. We want you guys to hang out. We love our loyal listeners. Appreciate you all. He's Ryan. He's about to live it up on the weekend. I'm Eric. I'm about to just take my dog for a walk or something. I don't know. We'll see you guys later.